What would the world be like if certain things weren't given the recognition or respect they deserve? What would the world be like if oppression ruled with an iron fist? Perhaps the only good connotation of oppression is its ability to influence change in many different ways. I wouldn't say the world would erupt into chaos, fire raining from the sky, riots in the streets, but the world, I think, would be a lot more quiet. It's known that some of the greatest and most influential ideas were the most ridiculed and the most censored. Some of these ideas had astronomical impacts on society. Enter filmmaker, playwright, and actor Orson Welles. Orson Welles, to say the least, wasn't your typical filmmaker.
Orson Welles was a character that seemed to be bigger than life. He was narcissistic, he was bombastic, he was extremely talented. He was a genius by all accounts, and was pretty much regarded himself as a genius. He was always blowing things up. When he wanted to make a movie about William Randolph Hearst, he knew the reaction. He knew what was going to happen. He went in there belligerently, knowing full well what Hearst would do.
His greatest movie, Citizen Kane, went after perhaps the biggest name in the news world. Hearst didn't take kindly to Orson's biting criticism. In the Hearst papers, he was quick to denounce the film and call for its removal from every theater in America.
Hearst, by owning the majority of the newspapers back then, pretty much owned all of the media, because that's how everyone got their information. Initially, the cultural impact was very minimal, because Hearst was able to pretty much block Citizen Kane. So for a few years, Hollywood refused to even acknowledge it, and even went so far during the Academy Awards that year, whenever they would mention anything about Citizen Kane, the actors, the Hollywood elites, would boo it. So they basically turned their nose up at Orson Welles. He was one and done.
Though the film and its creator was shunned by the Hollywood elite, its impact upon Hollywood would be astronomical, as many would declare it to be one of the greatest films ever made. Welles effectively changed the way we watched movies and inspired and influenced others to criticize other injustices in the world through their own films. In short, Welles changed the way we make movies, and his effect is still felt today. Certain mindsets have influenced people's actions in society and have been the catalyst for change. In today's modern world, gender equality is a large part of our society. However, the opposite gender has faced many hardships in gaining equal rights in the professional field, especially in positions dominated by men, with workers' actions creating the mindset for society to follow. Virginia Woolf emphasizes this mindset's influence on society, especially in the Victorian age, in her essay Shakespeare's Sister, where she states it would be impossible, completely and entirely, for any woman to have written the plays of Shakespeare in the age of Shakespeare. Recognizing the impact of this mindset on the Victorian era, Woolf drew from it to create the character of Judith Shakespeare in her essay, as she states that she had no chance of learning grammar or logic. She picked up a book now and then and read a few pages. Her parents came in and told her to mend the stockings or mind the stew, and not moon about with books and papers. Woolf's essay outlines how much a particular mindset can affect and influence society's actions within a given environment. Strong leadership can effectively influence the direct actions of society and have the ability to sway people to different sides of the argument. America and other nations and societies like it have had a long history of protest, and at no point in time was it more prevalent than during the Civil Rights Movement, where African Americans fought vigorously to abolish segregation in the United States. But something was missing from the movement: a strong leader, someone who could helm it and bring it to new heights. That's when Martin Luther King Jr. stepped onto the scene. MLK was unlike any other nonviolent protester, as he took the anger and aggression felt by those affected by segregation and turned it into a nonviolent and peaceful movement that managed to reach the highest office in America. With his vast intellect, his powerful yet peaceful way of leading a movement, and his acceptance of others in joining his cause, MLK's leadership gave thousands the voice to stand up to criticize society and change it for the better. And there's a reason why we honor MLK's birthday in the way we do.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Whether it is an idea that is censored, strong leadership, or the mindset of those on both sides, the actions and decisions people make can have a powerful and effective impact on society as we know it. It is seemingly inevitable for when a group or nation oppresses an aspect of society, for conversation and protest are sure to follow, and in the process. The ability to stand up for what is right is embedded into our code, and these central ideas are the catalyst for influencing our actions. Now picture a world where freedom of speech is non-existent and there's a group or idea that is being silenced. Would you have the courage to stand up, be a leader with a clear yet open mindset, or influence the actions of others?